Hi, everyone. My name's Pauline Joseph, and I started AC Marketing Caribbean because I had this grand idea that Facebook was going to make me. Fortunately, I'm still waiting for Mark Zuckerberg to sign me that check. But we have seen the evolution of how businesses are using digital as part of their marketing. We've actually shifted from the business to customer, and we're focusing on the B2B, specifically for international companies getting into the Caribbean market. When it comes to the biggest challenge within the remote space, as someone who manages a team across the Caribbean and the world, I would say team building is one of the biggest challenges because you cannot replace seeing someone in person. As someone who was employed at multiple organizations, obviously there were some times you're like, I wish I didn't have to go into the office, but I'm also an extrovert, so I kind of really miss those days. And when it comes to creative, having a creative space, being able to share ideas, as well as your professional growth in a unison as a team, I think that's one of the biggest challenges when it comes to managing a team remotely. So I'm working on that. So to be good at managing a remote team, you have to be good at trusting the people that you hire. The first thing you have to do is support your team. You have to make sure they have the right tools and then support them, because if you are one to micromanage and want to make sure that someone clocks in at 8 o'clock in the morning on their Zoom call, why? That to me doesn't make any sense. For my business, because I spent some time at Microsoft, I am biased to their tools, and their Microsoft 365 option is by far the most robust option for a small business like ours. So at any point in time, I could scale up and scale down depending on the demands of the business, and everything is built around the cloud. So we use tools like Microsoft Teams to not just host meetings, but actually to manage most of our content. We use Outlook, which is very important for managing emails, as well as it integrates with all the other tools, which is like SharePoint. It is the best thing ever, to the point where you can actually manage and be able to look at someone's productivity, meaning if you sign in on your email, you can actually see how much time that person spent on the platforms. It's not something I use very often because I do trust my team. At the end of the day, I give them certain targets based on the job. So it's pretty easy for us to know when something's working and when it's not. But ultimately, I've had to use it in the past to make a very difficult decision to let someone go because I saw a drop in their time. So when it comes to the top 3 tips for leading a remote team in the Caribbean, I would definitely, number 1 is providing the right tools, because if you don't have the right laptop, if you're just using a tablet, for instance, there's a lot of features that aren't available on the tablet or the mobile option. So you have to make sure the person has a laptop. For me, I got introduced to a second screen 5 years ago and I can't go back. The productivity level is just up there. As well as tools include software. So it doesn't make sense you asking someone to do a task and there's nothing within your ecosystem that they can actually finish that task. So make sure you have the right tools, as well as you do regular check-ins, because a lot of people have a lot of things going on. Obviously, you have to have that trust, but even me sometimes need my team to check in with me and be like, hey, I tell you to do this. I think that's so important. I don't mind being managed. Ever so often, I need it. So those check-ins are important. And then finally, you need to allow space for feedback, because within the remote space, a lot of things change for them as well as your business. So allow feedback for your team so you're able to be mobile in those changes. They're the best people to get that feedback from.